6 on the shot clock. Clark, a deep three.
Feet on the hardwood, basketball in hand, guiding you.
Christmas morning was expected to be calm. A moment to slow down and reset. Then, at exactly 10 a.m. Eastern, that calm disappeared. Nike released a short, 30-second video featuring Caitlin Clark, and the impact was immediate. In just half a minute, the commercial sparked a reaction across the WNBA that no game highlight, press announcement, or behind-the-scenes story ever had. It raised a simple but powerful question: how could such a brief ad cause this much disruption?
When you strip away the noise and the bright lights, it's just the game you loved as a kid.
To understand why it mattered, you have to look beyond the shoes, the numbers, and even the sport itself. This wasn't a routine marketing push. It challenged long-standing ideas about how the WNBA presents itself, and it may have exposed cracks that were already there.
Chance for those who maybe otherwise wouldn't see her and the Fever play to have that opportunity.
For many years, the WNBA has followed a clear philosophy. The league comes first. No single player is meant to stand above the rest. This idea is often referred to as the 144, meaning every roster spot matters and every player is part of the same story. Commissioner Engelbert has consistently supported this approach, believing it protects the league and keeps the focus on collective success.
You work together as a team and as a family to determine what the right path is. It's not always going to be the same.
The goal was stability. If no one athlete becomes too central, the league isn't vulnerable if someone leaves or gets injured. When the brand belongs to everyone, no single exit can cause lasting damage. For a long time, this strategy worked. It helped the WNBA survive in a sports world where attention and resources heavily favored men's leagues.
What we set out to do was create a level playing field in terms of competition, but not necessarily to have a different champion every year. Yeah.
It also helped bring players together during years when they were paid far less than their NBA counterparts. That shared struggle built strong bonds and a sense of unity. But when Nike's commercial aired on Christmas morning, that long-standing balance was suddenly shaken.
Hey, Caitlin, how about from here?
Come on, guys.
The ad didn't just bend the rules, it ignored them entirely. The quality alone sent a clear signal. This wasn't a typical endorsement deal. It looked more like a movie preview than a sports commercial. The visuals were polished, the lighting dramatic, and every detail carefully planned. Caitlin Clark was presented as a star on a much larger stage. Surrounding her were major cultural figures: Travis Scott, Jason and Travis Kelce, and Michael Che. The approval came not from within women's basketball, but from the broader world of entertainment and men's professional sports. The scene showed Clark shooting baskets in a snowy driveway as a voice asked, "Can you make it from here?"
Hey, Caitlin, can you make it from there?
Her response was calm and confident, from anywhere. One detail stood out on closer inspection. The WNBA logo was barely noticeable, if it appeared at all. The focus stayed entirely on Clark herself. She wasn't framed as a player representing a league.
Caitlin Clark, she is the greatest scorer college basketball has ever seen.
Instead, she was shown as a cultural figure who exists beyond the sport. The league wasn't highlighted, and didn't seem necessary to the message. The implication was clear: the spotlight was on Caitlin Clark alone. For a commissioner who has worked to carefully manage the league's structure, seeing a single player elevated so dramatically, without league involvement, was deeply unsettling. This wasn't a joint effort. It was Nike demonstrating that Clark's appeal stands on its own.
She's the dominating force, reshaping the landscape of college basketball.
The timing made it even more striking. Just weeks earlier, attention in women's basketball was centered on the launch of Unrivaled, a new 3-on-3 league founded by Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. It was designed to solve the off-season gap, keep talent in the U.S., and give veteran players a new way to earn income. Commissioner Engelbert publicly backed the project, viewing it as an important step for the league's future.
Entire WNBA coming here. It feels different this year, very positive. She's super excited, everyone else.
Behind the scenes, there was strong interest in getting Caitlin Clark involved. Reports suggested she was offered more than $1 million for a short commitment, far more than her WNBA salary. It was a headline-level offer meant to secure her participation. Clark declined. She chose rest, personal time, and a break from the spotlight. Some league voices framed that choice as disappointing, suggesting it slowed momentum and put individual needs ahead of group progress. Then came Christmas morning. Nike released the ad. Within 24 hours, it had drawn 6 times more views than the entire Unrivaled launch campaign combined.
I'm just kind of ready for the next chapter and a new challenge in my life.
The message was impossible to miss. Clark didn't need Unrivaled to stay visible, Unrivaled needed her. And her absence became even more noticeable once the commercial took over the conversation. For Commissioner Engelbert, seeing months of planning overshadowed so quickly was a serious blow. It fueled concerns that many fans are drawn less to women's basketball as a whole and more to Caitlin Clark specifically.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT! Just watching her passion in the game, the way she just plays with her team.
That realization limits a commissioner's influence. Managing a league becomes far more difficult when one player drives most of the attention. There was also a financial contrast that couldn't be ignored. Commissioner Engelbert comes from a business background and understands optics. The ad looked expensive, polished, and elite. Clark stood beside celebrities with enormous earning power, wearing custom gear in a production that likely cost millions. Compared to that, many WNBA broadcasts looked modest. The commercial highlighted a tough truth: Clark earns far more through endorsements than she does from her rookie contract.
Well, I've always been super competitive and fiery, so I think it's kind of just been, finding how to balance that over my, career.
That gap was obvious. The biggest financial rewards tied to women's basketball were happening outside the league itself. This creates challenges as the WNBA negotiates future labor agreements and seeks increased investment. Each time the ad runs during major sports broadcasts, it quietly weakens the league's argument about value and resources. Players can point to the screen and ask why their contributions generate so much outside profit but so little league revenue. There are reports that some owners have questioned why this surge in attention hasn't translated into direct returns for teams. The concern isn't personal, it's economic. The league's most marketable star is creating massive value, and the WNBA isn't sharing in it. Meanwhile, tension is growing among players. Inside locker rooms, comparisons are being made, and unease is building. This internal strain may be the most difficult challenge of all, especially as stars like Aya Wilson, an MVP and champion, continue to define excellence within the league.
She's a 3-time WNBA champion. She's a 2-time WNBA Finals MVP.